How about this? Woke Disney is blaming their failures on the fans. That's the thing, man. Is Disney a failing brand? I think Disney's a failing brand.
I don't. It's hard to tell. I mean,
It's not that hard to tell actually
it's not.
financially. Like financially, there is some evidence that like last year was their worst year they've ever had. You could even go back in inflation. This is there's a dark period. It's called that in the Disney time. It was like the 80s. They had a dark period. This would definitely be another dark period. This era. Financially, this is really bad. Like the most flops they've really ever had. Some of these flops like land into the top flops of all time. Like per
What
se,
is
the
this site that
Marvels.
it's so pro-Trump?
Oh, that's Breitbart. Which yeah, I don't like this site, but oh yeah, this is that's Steve Bannon's site. You ever heard of Steve Bannon?
Uh, I just saw like some photos of him. He's like really fat and has long hair, and was
Yeah,
getting taken to
he was
prison.
like Trump's campaign manager or something. Yeah, I don't like this site, but it does have I think it's entertainment content. It's funny. They're always very quick to like make fun of things, so I like it for that. But yeah, don't like Trump, don't like Biden. We're all fucked. By the way, it doesn't matter. That's the funniest part about it. It doesn't matter. I think that's the funniest part
No,
of
it
these.
doesn't matter who you vote for. It
No,
like if
no,
people are gonna get all worked up about who's gonna win or
no.
lose.
Doesn't matter, man.
Like their
You
vote
only
fucking means anything.
there's only
It's just
14 votes in New Jersey that count, and those are electors,
it's
and
not
we
even
are
about
not the
any of
electors.
that. Like none of it fucking counts. There's way too much money
Yeah.
involved to leave anything up to just mouth breathers.
No, I
Like
mean it's nice to be polled. I mean, because that's what it is. It's a poll. They're polling you to see the poll of what people think. But the popular vote doesn't mean shit. You could look this up. They've tried to. I mean, it would be great if the popular vote actually meant something. I would love it. I would actually vote if you could. Your vote actually meant anything. But it does not. Even for senators, I was surprised at that. Even for senators, it's still it's something with electors. Or it's what is it? It's the other senators in that state, or I'm sorry, congressmen. Because I saw that New York congressman thing that happened with it was a special election that happened, and I was like, oh, how are Congress people elected? And I was like, oh, it's from the other congressmen. Like let's say New York has 20, they're the ones who actually pick for who actually gets it. So it's all fucked, man. It's once the popular vote gets actually enacted there, and by the way, I looked it up. It's been this has been like they've tried to have the popular vote be how it actually works for it's about since 1969. It's come up a few times. It always gets filibustered. It will never happen. It will never happen. It's always going to be
it's just
electors.
this is a distraction tactic
Yeah,
to
and that's the funny part is like these Trump
infighting.
people will be like, "Oh, it was rigged. They didn't count the Dominion votes, all this shit." No, your vote doesn't matter. Like your vote literally doesn't matter. You have 14 people or whatever, 14 to 50 people in your state that actually matter. And they can be calculated within seconds. That's the funny thing. They're like, "We got to wait till the votes come in." Like you watch CNN, like, "We got to wait till the votes come in." No, no, no. Your electors can vote like within seconds and be tallied. We only have what is it? Is it the race to 270 or something? It's insane how people actually like to pretend that their vote counts. It drives me nuts. I think about it all the time. But here we go. The top flop list here. Heaven's Gate
No, like what
1980.
I said that I didn't vote. Like people accuse you of like costing the elections. Like, are
Oh,
you
well,
fucking kidding
honestly,
me?
whenever they say that, just
You think
tell them,
my
do you know
one
how
vote is
presidents are
swinging
elected?
the whole fucking thing? Like you're delusional.
Ask them if they know how presidents are elected with the Electoral College. And to ask that, you can say, like, it's in the Constitution, you go look it
That
up.
doesn't matter
We don't,
either. Like
our votes
that
don't
shit doesn't
matter.
even matter either. Like
Like,
it, this is just a predisposition stooge for people to either like idolize or hate, and then just get people to fight with each other so they're not paying attention to all the fucking weird dark shit they're doing all the time.
yeah, definitely fuck them all, Dan. That was actually funny about Jon Stewart is back, by the way, in Daily Show, and he like I think he kind of said some shit against Biden, which I think the left was like, I thought this was our guy. No, yeah. I kind of like Jon Stewart, but
I saw him.
he's
It's
back.
weird. I saw his stand up, like with
Oh,
my
so
mom
long
and my
ago.
aunt, and my
Oh,
cousin.
really? Oh, live. Okay, that's cool. Like a
Yeah, I
long
don't
time
know
ago.
why. I think they just like thought he was hot and wanted to fuck him or something. Because I wasn't a fan of Jon Stewart,
Yeah, I think in that
and I didn't
late
even know he was
'90s
doing
era,
stand-up.
he was kind of that kind of guy. But
Well, you know
what else
what's
we
weird?
got?
Like Stephen Colbert, who took over for him on the Daily Show, he was like so good on that. And then
Oh
once he
yeah,
got his
dude.
own show, he just seemed to like
Well, the
switch up and be
character
so
was funny.
different.
Yeah, he was good because he was doing this character kind of thing, and he was good at improv, so that all worked. But then when he did his, I mean, his show now is not funny. I like him as a person. I think
He's
he's
good on Strangers with Candy
yeah.
too.
I mean, I like him as a person.
He
I
plays a
like him as
teacher.
like I like his Lord of the Rings stuff, and I think he's a cool guy. But yeah, he's pushing that agenda for sure. I don't know how much that is
Strangers
him.
with Candy on Plex?
No, that show's kind of uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah,
I
it's
always felt like
gross.
I
She's
felt like
really gross.
yeah,
You
it's
know
like
what's
looking
weird?
at someone
I
with like
really
stains.
when
Like
as soon as he brought up the UCB thing, I was like, why the fuck did I think that was Tracy Ullman? Like, it has to be her because there's only four of them, right?
they look really alike. Amy
It's
Sedaris and Tracy
the
Ullman.
bald guy, the tall guy with brown hair. That's
Yeah.
sometimes in stuff. Her and then who's the fucking fourth one?
But here you go, man. Oh, and even with these massive bombs, the only thing that really broke even this last year was Guardians of the Galaxy, and it like barely broke even. And it wasn't a bad movie. It's not a movie I'd really want to watch again. I think that wasn't smart having like a super sad movie. I don't know, like not something I really want to watch again. But
Oh, with like all the little
cannibal
animals
stuff.
getting
Like, do I want to
murdered
see animals?
and
Yeah, I don't
tortured.
want to see that. No. But
Yeah, so
here's
the person I
here's the
worked with
thing.
that saw it said they were like crying in the theater, and I was like, oh man, like
Yeah.
this doesn't seem like if it's affecting you like this, I don't think it'd be good for children.
Yeah, and here's the thing also is what are you saying, Nick? They don't care about the box office numbers. Investors have perfected how to make money on these things. They don't give one fuck. Yeah, no, I think there's actually a big I'm sure they like that the stock's gone down so then they can actually buy it at the right time. I'm sure that's part of it. But an actual Disney exec has blamed the woes on racist, sexist fans. A revealed the arrogance behind the Mouse House's fall. Here's the thing. Yeah, the stock woes, box office flops. We've had Wish. Wish was a big joke. The 100th anniversary of Disney, which is
What
like
was Wish?
exactly what was Wish. I mean, it's funny if Wish was big, you'd know what the fuck it was. You have no fucking clue what it is. Some shitty Disney animated movie that was very I've only heard it just diverse to be diverse, which is like I don't give a shit about diversity. I liked House of Dragon. I don't care. But there's a level where they feel like they force it in. The Haunted Mansion was another flop. Again, they didn't spend $300 million on this like the Marvel or Indiana Jones, but this was like $100 million that was to waste. So that's still some fucking money that's down the tube. All the Pixar stuff has done really bad lately, and then there's been alternative media outlets that have been documenting the decline. These are people that are really big on YouTube, probably more fans than Disney has these days. Is Nerd Rod, the Curdle Drinker, the Quartering, who I kind of think is a douche. Film Threat. I do like. Oh, I do like. Yeah, I don't know how valid this is. Hey, yeah, I think they're just. Well, the reason why they're quoting Ron DeSantis is because of that whole Florida issue. There is lawsuits in Florida with Disney and Ron DeSantis, and I think like that whole don't say. That's why this is getting quoted here. So just because the don't say gay agent. I actually like this reporter. His name is Christian Toto. He's a Hollywood guy, but yeah, I do like him. I like his site. Yeah, Hollywood and Toto. I don't think he's bad. He's not I wouldn't say he's one way or the other as far as left or right. Kind of just calling it as it is. Because yeah, this whole year there's been a Disney DeSantis battle in Florida over, and that's another fucked up thing. That wasn't just about Disney and DeSantis. It was about Disney. Their whole little property was being counted outside of the rules of Florida because that's how it was set up in the 50s. They were able to get away with whatever. Yeah, no, believe me. The Quartering, Jeremy and the Quartering is a huge douche. I really like Film Threat. I think Critical Drinker is a funny guy. I think Nerdrotic is a funny guy, but definitely kind of that black pill douche kind of thing too. So Don't get me wrong. Yeah, no, Jeremy and the Quartering is pretty bad. I definitely agree with you on that. But again, these are people who are documenting the decline of Disney for sure. That's sort of what he's pointing out here. But yeah, Florida, and Disney, they're having a little standoff here. What was going on here? Yeah, the company may not be listening to fans at all, which is which is the case. 'Cause
Oh no, they're not taking fan feedback into account.
I don't think they're taking fan feedback to account. Um, and then this came from what's this? This came from an unnamed Disney executive, which makes me question if it's real or not. But when I read it, I was like, this is probably real. This is probably real. They like you want to blame this shit on everything else but your actual product because that's what you do. You don't want to actually blame it on that you guys have bad shit, which could be the case. I do kind of buy it, but yeah, here's this. I love this. This is from Matt Baloney's newsletter. Disney cannot fail. It can only be failed by the mouth-breathing bigots who refuse to acknowledge the greatness of their films. That's the funniest part about this all is like, do they actually think they have good stuff? Like, that's the funny part is, do they actually think like, oh no, these people are just so racist that like they can't appreciate our great films? Like, come on, like you're putting out Wish and you're putting out fucking The Haunted Mansion. Like, you're not putting out good stuff. If you had good stuff, people wouldn't care. It's like what I was talking about with House of Dragon. Like, it had the agenda, it had the diversity checked off, it checked the boxes, but it all was good. It actually all like wrote into the story and made sense, and I didn't give a shit. But then you had the Rings of Power, where, yeah, it did feel forced. And then same thing with this. Here's this quote. Everyone says it's the movie's stupid, which is an easy thing for people to say. More appealing movies are a great way to jump into political issues, but more and more our audience, or the segment of audience that has been politicized, equate the perceived message in the film as a quality issue. They won't say that the female empowerment is distasteful in the Marvels or Star Wars, the latest trilogy starring Daisy Ridley, but they will say they don't like the movies because they are bad. So make better movies, which becomes code to make better movies that conform to the regressive gender stereotypes or put men in the front and center in the narrative. No, that is not what they're fucking saying. They're saying, like, make a fucking movie I want to watch. I don't think it has anything. I mean, maybe some people, but I think it has more to do with I want to watch a good movie. I don't want to watch, even again, like, how about just like you're rebooting every single cartoon you ever made? Why don't you just make an original movie that you could actually make that's good? Like, do I want to see The
Because
Lion
nobody
King
wants to
8?
invest in something that doesn't already have a fan base built into it.
No, I get it, but there's like that's what worked about past films is the risk, man. Look, I mean, again, here you go. Here, I got this cup right here. Lord of the Rings. Every fucking studio passed up on making this movie because they were like, we can't make this movie. It's too long. It's too like every fucking like take a risk and do something original. Like I mean, how about all the original movies that people loved? How about Star Wars? Again, like George Lucas, like no one wanted to make it. No one wanted to make it. He had to go to 20th Century Fox. I think Universal's, of course, Universal was his boy, Spielberg. That's the first place he went. They said no. Yeah, and there is this issue. They don't want to pay They don't want to pay quality work anymore. And also, there used to be quality work happening in America. I mean, look at the 1930s Snow White Disney movie. That's an American-made cartoon. Like, have you ever heard of fucking cartoonists in America anymore? Like, they don't do that. It's all
No, I
outsourced.
know. I found out the hard way. It's this hand drawn animation died a long time ago.
Yeah, and then
It's
I
not
was
cost
reading about
effective.
like the new animators in Disney. Like, they don't even like the old Disney cartoons. They're like, what do you like? They like anime, and it's like that's the style you're gonna go for. Like, come on, like
I
watch a
mean,
fucking
the reason I got into animation wasn't really Disney. It was like early Nickelodeon with like Ren and
yeah.
Stimpy and Rocko's Modern Life, and then like
But even you
Bill
as an
Clinton
animator
and
would appreciate the old Disney or like Miyazaki or something where it's like obvious like art.
yeah, but that wasn't really like my favorite shit. But I definitely
Yeah,
watched it and thought it was good.
but you watched it. I think like animators today that like anime, they probably won't even watch a 1930s movie. I don't think they would even want to watch a 1930s movie. Like again, maybe it was different when we were kids because we had shitty TVs, but I wouldn't have known the difference between a 1930s movie and like a 1980s movie at the time. It was on a fucking box TV that was a fucking square, and I couldn't really tell the difference. Like that. I don't know. Not really. Especially animated. You can't really tell. But yeah, it's a complicated issue here. Indiana Jones was a big fucking joke. $300 million to make like nothing on it. I don't think it even made. It could have made like 100. It was like nothing. Nothing.